Welcome, young Jedi, to History in 5 Minutes. Today we're going to be continuing with Part 5 of the LucasArts saga. This is an interesting time for LucasArts because it was
before the dark times, before the
EA.
Empire.
Ward left the company in early February 2008 for personal reasons. He was replaced by Howard Rothman as interim president. Daryl Rodriguez, who came from Electronic Arts, took Rothman's place in April 2008. After a month prior to release of Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, LucasArts scaled down the internal development studio. The aforementioned game received a mediocre score from some media outlets such as IGN, GameSpot, and Game Trailers.
Chewie, we've got company.
After release, minor adjustments in staffing resulted in even more layoffs. The successor to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords, in the form of an MMORPG, Star Wars The Old Republic, was announced on October 21st, 2008, at an invitation-only press event.
Live for the Emperor.
This was developed by BioWare. It was then released in December of 2011. They also published Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes in 2009 for all current systems.
Any word from General Kenobi?
Only when he reached Juma 9.
I could be mistaken, but I think someone is trying to kill us.
The game is a tie-in to the Clone Wars television series and was released in October 2009, receiving generally negative reviews. During television network's G-Force coverage of the 2006 E3 convention, a LucasArts executive was asked about the return of popular franchises such as Monkey Island. The executive responded that the company was currently focused on new franchises, and that LucasArts may return to the classic franchise in 2015, though it was unclear as to whether the date was put forward as an actual projection or hyperbole. This turned out to be a hyperbole as LucasArts and Telltale Games announced new adventure games in a joint press release in 2009. The games announced were Tales of Monkey Island, which was to be developed by Telltale, and a LucasArts-developed enhanced remake of the 1990 title The Secret of Monkey Island, with the intent of bringing the old game to a new audience.
Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just glad to see us?
According to LucasArts, this announcement was just the start of LucasArts' new mission to revitalize its deep portfolio of beloved gaming franchises. Following the success of this, LucasArts released the sequel Monkey Island 2 Special Edition in the summer of 2010. The company began experiencing turnovers and layoffs in 2010. Rodriguez left in May after just 2 years on the job. A Lucasfilm board of directors and a game industry veteran, Jerry Bowerman, filled in during the transition. Rodriguez was ultimately replaced in June by Paul Megan, formerly of Gears of War developer Epic Games. In July 2010, Hayden Blackman, who served as creative director on the original Star Wars The Force Unleashed, LucasArts' most successful internally produced title of recent years, and the sequel, unexpectedly left. However, the company scored a surprise coup in August 2010 when Clint Hawking, a high-profile gamer from Ubisoft, announced that he would be joining LucasArts. His tenure at LucasArts was short-lived, however, as Hawking left LucasArts in 2012 before the game he was working on was released. In September 2010, a third of the employees at LucasArts were fired. In March 2011, LucasArts published a sequel to the popular LEGO Star Wars series, LEGO Star Wars 3: The Clone Wars, based on the Clone Wars animated series, once again developed by Traveler Tales. Sony Online Entertainment announced in June 2011 that Star Wars Galaxy would be shutting down at the end of 2011. Another canceled title of LucasArts was the Darth Maul game, which was going to be developed by the same company which made the Wii version of The Force Unleashed 2. On April 2011, LucasArts announced that it had required a license from Epic Games to develop a number of future titles using the Unreal Engine 3 for a number of platforms. Star Wars 1313, a proposed action-adventure about Boba Fett navigating Coruscant's subterranean underworld, was confirmed to use the Unreal Engine 3. However, the game was cancelled as a result of the closure of the development arm of LucasArts. In April 2012, LucasArts published Kinect Star Wars, developed by Terminal Reality for the Xbox 360.
That's awesome.
It was poorly reviewed by critics, receiving an aggregated score of 53.32% on Game Rankings and a 55 out of 100 on Metacritic. In August 2012, Megan, who replaced Rodriguez as president in 2010, also left his position at LucasArts after just 2 years on the job. Kevin Parker and Gio Corsi were named to co-lead the studio until the studio would choose a permanent president, with the former as interim head of business operations and the latter as interim head of studio production. The last game released through LucasArts as a subsidiary of an independent Lucasfilm was Angry Birds Star Wars, a game that gave the Angry Birds characters costumes and abilities based on the original Star Wars trilogy. It was released in November 2012 before the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm was finalized. The game was developed and published by Rovio Entertainment and licensed by LucasArts. Well, that's all I can fit into today's episode. Tune in next week for the last episode and the final chapter of LucasArts history. And in the meantime, stay safe and keep gaming.